Right, Puff, get up here. Yeah, up here. Alexa, pause. UBK Bosley, video diary. It is the 26th of the 6th, 2024. It is 02:13 in the morning, Wednesday. Obviously, you know it's UBK Bosley if you're watching this, and thank you for watching this. And thank you very much to the people who have offered support of various means or kinds. It means a lot. Thanks. I've been fighting this alone for 4 years, sorry. For about a year or so before that, another neighbour, another resident was fighting this, and for reasons I don't really understand, if I'm honest, because that man, decent man, I wouldn't have got on with him under any other circumstances, because I'm not easy to get on with, and I don't think he was quite a focus-driven person, for good reason. He was from a not dissimilar background to me, and didn't ever want to return to that. And that was my goal in life, not a happy family or a little house on the prairie, because I knew I wasn't equipped for that. My problems began when people tried to convince me I was. Anyway, probation. Jackie Sales. Okay, first of all, she gave me a false probation date. Now, my understanding from people who were advising me about matters criminal and law and courts and whatever, not lawyers, because they charge £50,000 a minute. I mean, people at my end who have dealt with the unofficial aspects of it, like what really happens and who does what and what you can and can't do and what the police actually do. And because God, it's been a learning curve. Being a part-time criminal, bloody hell, that's a pretty tough career choice, because the police, fucking hell, do they make shit up as they go along. Right, Jackie Sales gave me an incorrect probation date. I had made clear to Jackie Sales from the get-go, as I did with my current probation officer, who's actually a probation officer, from what I can tell. The other person I mentioned is probably trying to deal with latent issues, which means that she gets her sucker by dominating unfortunate people who are placed as clients to her. So the onerous outcome. Get up here, sit up here. Come on, please. I can't give you attention 24/7. Bloody hell! I'm not a shepherd watching his flock by night. So what it meant was, not only did I turn up with my therapy dog, can you believe that now? You are, baby. I turned up. Now, I did tell Jackie Sales, and I told Anne, my current probation officer, and made it clear, and it has been clear, I think, to anybody who is conscious, that this little thing that I've been involved with for the last few years has been very, 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 very demanding. It had to be done. It had to be done because, first of all, as a matter of principle, yeah, even criminals have principles, which is a lot more than some probation officers I could mention. So going back to the story, I got an incorrect probation date. Now, the probation date means I've got a decamp from here. I live in a shed, a nice summer house, you can see. It's a typical criminal's place. There you go. Bit of light. You see, that's a typical criminal's hovel. I turned up. I had to take my dog. I had to remember the harness, a water bottle, the poo bags, my gear, phone. Get on the bus. I haven't worked for a while because of various issues. Apparently, I'm mentally insane. But no, I was mentally overwhelmed. and consciously overwhelmed and morally overwhelmed and ethically overwhelmed. And my anger was overwhelmed, and my surprise and disdain and disgust at people that purport to be officials. The only officialdom they know is they are officially low-life pond breeding laboratory laboratory manufactured low-life scum. And I wouldn't urinate on one of them if they were on fire. I won't name them here. So the owner's date, what I got from Jackie Sales was, I haven't got time for this. I'll put you know a date. Go on, off you go. No, have you got any other obligations today? Oh, he should be in court today. So I made it clear that, I can more or less cope with one obligation a day at the time. I was really ill at the time, overwhelmed, in disbelief really, because of the corruption that's permitted in this part of the world by some, and has been for a long time, which is very clear. So I was hauled away to court on the a day or so later, a bit combobulated and whatever. I didn't remember dates. I can't remember dates now. My critical thinking abilities are, let's say, diminished. They're recovering just in time. Just in time. I hope everybody else is as ready as I'm trying to prepare myself to be for what I feel is about to come over the next few months or possibly years. Either way, if I'm out of it by then, I couldn't give a shit. I'm done with this life, with this place. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it myself, by the way. Right, so what happened was then I got hauled into court by about 20 police officers who turned up and terrified my dog and did the usual harassment stuff. Couldn't phone me, said, you've missed a court date. Do we have to come and arrest you? Can you come in and we'll take you to court and blah, blah. That would have worked. That would have cost absolutely fuck all, wouldn't it? Bit less than 20 police officers. But I suppose it was a scary factor. So I then arrived in court a couple of hours later, undefended, shattered, exhausted anyway by the trials and tribulations of this, and also discombobulated. And it's not an excuse. I've been punished. I'll come to that. Discombobulated. And now when I got to court and expecting to, he was making a noise and he was drunk and he was throwing this about. He was a nightmare, which is what true. And he was drunk and that was all good. I thought, well, yeah, it was a protest. So I'm just putting a marker down, literally, so that when somebody is clattered out here, the potential fallout for, again, the people that have no choice but to live with this implementation of a project that was lied about at every fucking stage. Wasn't it, Mr. Faulkner? Wasn't it, Mr. DB? Wasn't it, Mr. BB? And ooh, how you tried to cover it, didn't you, Mrs. A.B.? Positive? Game over, guys. I'm done with it anyway. I'm finished. I've done my bit. So I went to court, was undefended, was bedraggled, was tired, was broken, was everything. Just had enough. I'd agreed to carry on doing this, but it was just getting stupid. And the police rolled up and said that they were based on 40 years old intelligence. I'd done some running about training in the military a long time ago, trying to be something that I was never going to be because I'm an idiot. I'm not a drunk though, evidently. So the judge, who was apparently very lenient to me on this last occasion when he gave me a suspended sentence for exposing, this is what this is. I have been exposing corruption in Exeter City Council, period, end of. It's nothing to do with my background, nothing. I have done all right considering my background, and I've never been a wife beater either. For your information, Anne, if you want to believe how I can react when I'm cornered by a woman, when a woman is being totally unreasonable, ask a person who, like you, works for the great, or was it the authorities, the government, She works for the justice system, and I'll give you her name. She's an ex-girlfriend of mine who was bossy and just fucking an argument on legs. She was very pretty, and she was nice in other ways. Matron, but just hard work. And yeah, come here. Seriously, up here. Get up here now. Come on, up. Get up. Stay there. So asked her how I dealt with the difficulties that we had or that I had in ending that relationship, which wasn't conducive to my well-being any more than it was, in her opinion, me getting involved with the person I did get involved with, but she thought I was getting involved with. I didn't want to get involved with, but I did get involved with. That's why I was in trouble with the police recently. Yes, it is. When the police said that I had prepared for them by sharpening a pole, while dressed in shorts, I think, and an old dressing gown, grey dressing gown. That's standard procedure in the British Army when you're going to attack, or when you're going to attack people in the defence of your home who are armed, outnumber you, have some coordination, have some discipline, have no courage, zero courage, no capacity to think outside the box. So, for example, when they skidded up to my house like the 7th Cavalry, albeit that in my mind I was drunkenly doing a protest about the dangers both to the people passing these properties and primarily, in my case, to the people living in them who have to then deal with the potential of hurting, killing or maiming somebody, or a dog even, commuter, skateboarder. One of the other things that you overlooked, Exeter City Council. Right, probation, back to probation. So Jackie Sales and the nefarious and fabricated account by the cowardly police. See, the police that come to my property, with the exception of a guy called Stone and a boxer from Taunton who was talking to me over my gate years ago, about 5 years ago. He seemed a good lad. The rest of the people that have come out here, including initial J, initial R, little r, and female initial V, jury's out on you. The way that J and V went round to my now business partner and friend, sometimes friend, we fall out a lot because she tries to smother me. That's what women do to me, or try to. I don't like being smothered by anybody. It's more pleasant being smothered by a woman, admittedly, but I don't like it because I have not been smothered with anything, in my life, except shit. And I'm clean of it now. And I'll tell you something, for all the things that I've been charged with over the years, my conscience is clear as far as comparisons to the former leader of this gang of wannabe gangsters. I'm telling you now, probation. I also got another date when I phoned up because I was in panic mode. Yeah, panic mode. I've been living under stress and panic mode for 7 years. It's killing me. It's killing me. Which I guess is what the authorities wanted. Well, good luck. Good luck. Good luck. I didn't realise I'd been training for this all my life. Yeah, I had a few years being raised in austerity with the old man and his parachute regiment moulded ways, and my brothers equally. They had the same thing and also benefited and not from the same thing. My brothers had a fucking horrific childhood. Probably worse than mine physically. Definitely not worse than mine mentally. Well, that's why you've been moulded into just cardboard cutouts of ex-paras, which is what you are. Who happen to have lost their mum when they were younger as a result of that regiment that they adore so fastidiously. And I don't blame you. A great regiment, very, very respected, etc. But not my regiment. Glad I was raised amongst it in the early years, and glad for my dad's input. To be honest, I wouldn't have survived this. Not glad for your input, Brian. Not glad for your input, David. Definitely not glad for Carl's, although that's fucking taught me a lesson. So I phoned up probation on another day and said, look, have I got any word? Should I? What's happening? The guy who answered the phone, it was a male receptionist type. It wasn't Martin, I would have remembered. I don't know if it was Montgomery or not. I can't remember. But he said, oh, God, you're in court today. What? 10 o'clock. This was 9 o'clock. I was at home, so I got a taxi, got dressed, arrived at the magistrate stroke Crown Court in Exeter in a state of borderline girly hysteria. And I was exhausted and I was ill as well. I've got foot infections. I've got athlete's foot, although I don't run any faster. But it's gone. It's become infected, and I've got cellulosis or something. And I've had a hernia operation, double hernia operation, which got infected one side and had a blood clot the other. I live on my own. My life's been very hard. Thank you for that, Exeter City Council. I hold you responsible for this. And I will always hold you responsible. Faulkner. DB. PB. The ones I met. This is in honour of Paul English. I maybe deserve what I got, but Paul English didn't deserve the treatment he got. And he certainly didn't deserve to be humiliated by you when he met you. Would you have humiliated me? Would you have tried to? Paul English was very abrupt and forthright, but he was very polite and composed. Given the treatment that's been meted out towards me, not Exeter, drunken, sort of abusive, drunken Exeter man. That's not what I am. I'm not very polite either. Right, when I'm dealing with idiots. I did warn you time and time again, don't pick on me. Okay? Dead or not, you're going to regret that when I'm dead or not. Or what? Well, if I'm not dead, I'm alive. Do you really think my ambition is to scurry away? I am going to scurry away. I'm going to get myself better, get myself squared away. The rest of you think I was going to put this down to experience? 300 grand, 7 years of my life. Just forget about it. Do you think that's any more probable than the fact that I told you, don't pick on me? You've just made this what my life was for. Thank you. End of message. Oh, by the way, this is originally meant for Shaz at probation. I'm sorry, this is a somewhat left field way of communicating, but sitting in front of a computer is quite difficult for me now. Focus is a problem. But it's something I'm managing because I'm keeping busy getting this place squared away before it gets rebuilt almost. So things are good for me. I can't say the same for other people involved. And by the way, to end on a positive note, you should maybe speak a bit more with Ms. Grange. Good probation officer. Had a really, really bad-tempered, ferocious, seethingly angry moron in front of her the other day, and ended up ending the session as possibly one of the funniest encounters with officialdom I've had. Well, that doesn't really give a good barometer, but it was funny. And it was joyous to see somebody unafraid whilst in a professional capacity. And I don't mean that as derogatory or a dig, but to show abject humanity, which I responded to. I liked it. I don't mean that in any inappropriate way other than to say, look, okay, you might not be on my side, but you ain't going to hurt me. You're a human being below that. Couldn't say the same for the first person, who was described to me by others in a professional capacity as Marmite person. I get that. I'm a Marmite person as well, as she has been described. But I'm not deviant and I don't bully people to compensate for my own inadequacies. End of message. God's love to you, whoever you purport that to be. Much love.